Welcome back to Capital Exotics. Thanks for checking out the channel. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be a travel-inspired video on how to figure out the logistics in terms of visiting the Lamborghini Factory and Museum tour in Italy. But before we begin, I've got a secret for you that I'm super excited about. I got an invitation to go to my local Porsche dealership, and they're going to be unveiling the all-electric Porsche Taycan. That's going to be a Capital Exotic exclusive. I'm going to get some insider revealed footage and shots for you guys and hopefully get a video to you very soon. I'm so excited. It's like going to be a Capital Exotic exclusive. Click the subscription and hit the bell button if you want to see that video. All right, but back to the video at hand. So you've made it all the way to Italy, and on your itinerary, you want to plan a visit to the Lamborghini Factory Museum. I mean, really, it's one of the birthplace of the most exotic cars in the world. Unlike other competitors like Ferrari, you can't actually get a factory tour unless you actually own one. The Lamborghini Factory Tour is open to the public. That being said, there's two questions that you're gonna have to ask yourself. Are we going to visit it through a prepaid package with a tour, or are you going to try and plan it on your own? The factory is actually located outside of the town of Bologna, which is in between the Tri-City area of Florence, Venice, and Milan. And it's about 45 minutes outside of Bologna. So it's not the easiest tour to figure out on your own. There's a lot of logistics in terms of how you're gonna get there and what's your plan. This is the only Lamborghini factory in the world. So there is no other location on the earth besides where originally Ferruccio Lamborghini set up his factory, and it's in Sant'Agata Bolognese. Don't do the hand thing. So let's first start by taking a look at some of the tour operators. And again, I'm pretty sure, and it's not a knock on them, that these tours are absolutely fantastic. I'm sure the guides are amazing and the guides are wonderful. But most of the tours that we could find left out of Bologna. So you had to make your way from whatever city you were in to the city of Bologna, which is a lot of logistics. And the tours often left early in the morning, which means you either were going to take a day out of your trip to go stay in Bologna, or you were going to get up and take a really early morning train to the city. With that being said, take a look at the prices. The prices were between 250 to 300 euros per person. That's a pretty high cost. I mean, you're talking with conversion rate, $750 to $1,000 for this overall tour. Let's take another look at maybe a tour that does pick you up from a neighboring city. So here's another example. Here's a Viator tour, and it is $533 Canadian per person. It does do more than just see the Lamborghini Factory and Museum. It does also go to the Pagani Factory and the Ferrari Museum. You get picked up in a minibus. You have a little bit of a light lunch, probably a sandwich, let's be real. It does pick you up in Florence, which is convenient, and it's a 7:30 a.m. start time. Personally for me, 7:30 a.m. start time, that's when you got to get to the location. You know, I'm going to be completely honest with you, that just really doesn't fit with my style. I like to enjoy my vacations, and I like to take my liberties, and 7:30 a.m. start times aren't really my thing. I can guarantee you this tour is really well done, but it's more on the expensive side. For a couple, that's over $1,000. So keep this in mind if you plan on doing some of these guided tours. So now that we know how much the pre-packaged tour costs, let's figure out the breakdown as to how much it would cost for us to do the trip on our own. And the number one thing is, let's see how much it actually costs from Lamborghini itself. So let's go check out the Lamborghini website, and you can see it's pretty well done. And we're going to book our visit. We're going to go down, and you can see there's a little outline here of some of the things that you can see on the tour. You can book your time and your language for your tour. And there you have it. So it's 75 euros per person. which is actually not a bad price considering that you're visiting one of the most exotic car makers on the planet. When booking the tour, note the time and note the language of the tour and make sure you're there on time. Do not miss it because these tours sell out. So you make sure you don't mess around and you get there when you need to. So now that we know how much it actually costs to get a ticket to go visit the Lamborghini Museum and get the factory tour, we got to figure out our way on how we're going to get to Bologna. So we're obviously in Italy. The train system is very good. We're going to take a look at how much it's going to cost to travel to Bologna from a few of the cities in the general area: Florence, Venice, and Rome. All right, so we're here on the website for Italia Rail, and you can see here I'm going to click round trip, and we're going to look from Florence to Bologna. I'm just going to pick a random date of March 9th, which is not too far in the future. And we're going to say find tickets. And you can see that the prices are fairly reasonable. There's plenty of trains to take, and I would say that they're in the maybe upper 20s. Let's take a look from Rome. Now, Rome's a little bit of a farther distance, and again, March 9th. You can see it's a 2-hour and 5-minute train ride, and it's about in the mid to low $50 range. It's not bad. Let's check our last city, Venice. Same date, March 9th. Let's find the tickets. It's an hour and 25-minute ride. And you can see for the round trip, we're talking in the mid to upper $20 range for a round trip. That's pretty reasonable. If you want to get the best prices on the train tickets, Italia Rail books 4 months in advance. So be prepared to book if you want the lowest cost tickets in advance. We got 2 people round trip from Florence to Bologna for €75. That's a deal. So at this point, you've made it to Bologna, and you have to now make it from the little town, it's a beautiful town by the way, of Bologna to the smaller town of Sant'Agata Bolognese. See, the hand, it helps me say it. Sant'Agata Bolognese, which is about 45 minutes away from the train station in Bologna. So there's 3 options that you can take, and the Lamborghini website outlines each of those 3. Number 1, you can take the bus. Now, when we were originally booking this trip, we were a little bit wary about taking the bus. Now, there are some instructions on there, but we were a little bit worried being outside of a major tourist zone because we didn't know about the size of Bologna, if it was tourist oriented or not. Would we be able to take a bus, make it to the right area, 45 minutes away, not miss our stop, not make a mistake, and if we did make a mistake, were we able to therefore locate a taxi service or something to get us the rest of the way? If we didn't have to be there by a certain time, I wouldn't have been worried, and I would have had the freedom of saying, let's take the most cost-effective travel. But I didn't want to miss out on this opportunity going 1/3 of the way around the world. I wasn't going to take that chance. I couldn't find too many blogs on it that had really thorough instructions about what to take and where to take it, so we scratched that option off the list. The second option is to rent a car. You're only there for a day. It's only going 45 minutes away from the city of Bologna. You know, there's registration issues. You have to have an international license technically to be driving in Italy, by the way, something I did not know about before I got there, or you could be fined if pulled over. So make sure you have that. We just thought it was a little bit overkill for a 3-hour, 4-hour tour to bother renting a car. So we ended up choosing the third method, taking the taxi, and that was the easiest for us. We got to kick back for 45 minutes, relax in the back of the car, knowing that we're going to go from door to door, checkpoint to checkpoint, have a little time to go explore the museum first, go on our factory tour, and not have to worry about it. So that was the choice that we made, and for the cost, it was around €50 each way. So in total, it was about €100. For those of you that are interested in taking an Uber or any type of ride-sharing program, Uber is available in certain Italian cities, Bologna being one of them, but unfortunately it's restricted to only those city limits. So as of today, Uber or any ride-sharing program is not available to go to Sant'Agata Bolognese. If you're not sure, or maybe this information is old by the time you see this video, I checked out Ride Guru, and that's where I got my information from. Unfortunately, Uber and other ride-sharing programs don't go to that area. If you are concerned about taking a taxi, as we were, because we've never been there. We didn't know whether we were going to get there. I didn't know how big Bologna was. There are plenty of taxis waiting outside of the train station. So you literally have no worries. That was a question that we weren't sure about. Was it going to be easy to find a taxi when we got to Bologna? It's super easy. How about leaving from the Lamborghini Factory Museum and getting back to the train station in Bologna? Is it going to be easy? Yeah, it's super easy. There aren't taxis that wait outside the Lamborghini Museum, but the people at the front desk are more than willing to help you. Obviously, tourist oriented. They will call you a taxi, and that taxi will take you fixed rate all the way to Bologna. Well, thanks a lot, everybody, for sticking around. You finally made it to the Lamborghini Factory Museum, and I hope I could answer some of your questions in terms of planning a trip to the Lamborghini Factory tour. I'm gonna add all the costings in on a Google Doc right now, and I'll show you those. If you have any comments or questions that I hadn't answered in the video, please put them below, and I'll be glad to answer them. Take care, and thanks for checking out another video at Capital Exotics. See ya.